There are so many people out there who are studying openings instead of learning how to win the game. In other words, if you are studying the London or any opening variation, how much will that really reward you toward winning a game versus learning specific strategic methods, maneuvers, plays, or honing your endgame skills toward pocketing further points and thereby gaining rating points? The problem is that right now, I believe that Ron. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. It is another beautiful morning as we kick off some early AM training before the sun comes up and before I run off to Sunrise Chess, a program I started in the early 2000s, which pretty much nixed my early AM tennis schedule and routine. I enjoyed playing tennis every morning. However, all things must come to an end. Recently we celebrated 5 years. 5 years of streaming since COVID. Let's see here. Make this a little bigger. And we're still getting in our F4s as it turns out. One of these days I am going to study this opening. You actually don't need to study openings to be successful, but it doesn't hurt. Basically following the opening principles here of all of the above, and my opponent wasted a tempo, so there's no reason for me to take that knight right away. Let's grab the long diagonal while we're at it. And now we just have to decide how we're going to approach the center appropriately. We're waiting for him to get castled. Outpost our knight. We have another where that came from. Connect our rooks. Should we go for the conflict in the center? Should I open up his bishop? Or should I just take it? Or should I wait? Interesting. I think we can probably continue on our merry way. Interesting. Can't believe he did that. This looks like it should cause him some problems. How many problems? Yet to be seen. Wow. That was totally unexpected. Absolutely and totally unexpected. Should I sack the exchange? No. We're just going to continue to prepare our advance in the center. And now, do we give up on our advance in the center? I think not. Let's see what else we can get on this bit. Opening up the G file. Perhaps migrating with my king across. What do you think? Should I attempt to migrate with my king across? Is he giving me a free deal here? He wants to open it up, but that's okay. We need to keep his lines closed. Keep the lines closed. And He may go for a fork if he wants to. He can leave the world behind. Now, is he going to sack his queen for 2 rooks? That is the question. Is he? Is he willing to do that? I don't think so. But let's not let him have a way in just because he has a way in. Alrighty. It looks as though there are some tactics to be formed here. It is time. It is time to make him feel a little uncomfortable on the open file. Now that we've got the pawn on d5 firmly planted, I feel like we can get something done. Alrighty. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. And now, is there a good discovery? I don't think so. Just a city boy. Ruh-roh. There seems to be something going on here. This looks like a possible 1-2 punch. But is he trying to tempt me into just taking here? It looks like a free pawn. Oh, fine. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Let's see if he's willing to give up the exchange or give up on my knight. Right? Is it time? I feel it could be time. Is there a hook? Do we have a good bishop? We do have a good bishop. Whoops. I feel a little terrible about it. Not that terrible about it. He didn't really have a good coordinated space to move around in. Learn from your mistakes. I feel like there was a lot to be learned from that particular one. Yeah, G4 was a little ridiculous. Perhaps rook to E2 was better. I can do better. WTH. Let's just put it like this, real quick. I can do better. Do I play E4 for reals? Do I anchor my knight? We'll play it the other way. Now, D4 is really good for black. I see. So because D4 is really good for black, we can play D4 ourselves. But I am worried about this pawn falling to a discovery. Therefore, let's get our queen off of this mix. How about that? A little bit better, considering black is better. Will it accept that one? The move it was looking for was queen e2. It was not looking for queen h3. It was looking for queen e2 with the same slight depth of being terrible. Why would I want my rooks tied down to defending pawns? I think not. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. As much as I wanted to take this bishop to avoid the bishop's opposite colors, I imagine that's what it wanted. That is why I played the move rook to e3 after all. As materialistic as Stockfish often is, it's also possible that it just wanted me to take. But that also seems wrong. After all, bishop h4, knight takes c6. Rook takes f5, knight e7, check is no good. I am curious about that, though. I'm still curious about whether or not I could actually take this pawn. I played king f2, which was quite terrible. So how about rook h3? That looks like it's a solid move, right? That should win. How is everybody? Good morning. We will check a little bit of everything. Good move. Oh my god, I had 8 mistakes in this game. This could take all morning. I played queen takes bishop instead of queen takes rook. That's insane. Of course I saw that. And then rook takes f4. Check. Pawn takes bishop, check. I don't think I have a choice. But I'm not a big fan of this particular exposing of my king. Right? Isn't this just death-defyingly deadly? King f3, queen e3, king g4, queen e2, rook on 1 to f3. I don't know about this. This does not make me feel comfortable. There's always h5 check. And I guess the move that I'm overlooking is king to h3. That seems crazy to me. I still like my move better. After all, I wasn't up a piece. I do not remember how I got up a piece. Just playing d4 was probably best. Why are we so slow, folks? Why are we so slow? I'm missing my multi-chat. After all, this is what I was concerned about. Wow, I have a better move than that even. I guess there is no threat. If d4, then e4. Right? h5 is clearly better than rook e1 or rook g1 or rook h2 or king f3 especially. Interesting. So I took a pawn in this position when I threw away most of my advantage. Am I concerned? Well, A, I did not see the rook. So rook g4 check. There is no way for him to attack me. I could have just taken it, right? Checkmate is now unavoidable. Oh my god, that's terrible. So my opponent played, yes, I did look at bishop to g2 check, followed by king f3, and then I did not think that I had a move. So that, thankfully, I was able to stop this crazy thing. And I played rook to b8. No, I don't have that move, do I? So how losing am I? That is the question. I get to play f5. Nope, rook h1, king g3, h4, king f2 is mate. So his threat is to play h4 check. And that should do it. h4 check. What is going on here? What is the move that is so important in this position? What is the move that is so important in this position? All right. I imagine that I can escape. And he cannot play king f5 to stop me from escaping because I have a discovery on his rook, which is somewhat key. I knew with logic and reasoning that we would find the next move. So that was 8 of 8. 8 mistakes in this game. And once again, is he still threatening me? And this should be a draw.
Good morning, Mr. John. How are you doing?
Good morning, Yokai. How are you? Or Yokal. Hold on. Yes, it is an I. Sorry, I'm always worried that I'm mispronouncing, and this is probably the #1 problem for all streamers, is mispronouncing players' names. Can I just attack him and gain time? But he's just going to put it right back. I'm doing a little bit of learning from my mistakes here. How are you doing it? When you are close to finishing the book, which I think you might be, at your pace, based on what I saw, you might actually be finished with the book. Then we have to discuss times. Max won. Maximilian won. Right? Mispronunciation is funny.
It's an old name. I would love it if you call me with my name, Anas.
Ah, Anas. Honestly. So now I have a way out if he starts checking me. Close enough. Oh no. I'm just going to call you Max. I think most of the streamers default to the first 3 to 4 to 5 letters. And we're doing okay. Let's get the chat going. Any other questions? I've got some form of a chat bar on the right-hand side.
Yes, I will finish the book today.
Excellent. And then we start on the review, and we're going to time our review, actually. I would set aside, I don't know if you have auto next done or if you have 10 at a time. And the bottom of the screen, there's auto next, and then there's auto next for 10 reps. So I like to do 10 reps and time myself on...
Which book is that?
A book that I usually start students off with, and once they complete the book, then I know that they're really ready to learn. It's like my version of having Anas wax the car in Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off, wax on. When are we going to start learning, Mr. Miyagi? When are we going to start learning? Finish, Daniel-san. Finish, finish. Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off.
Thank you for following Asasalde.
Thank you for the follow, Asasalde, indeed. I'm looking around to see which platform. It is on Kick. Thank you.
Good advice.
No words said. Maybe I should make my students wax my car. Sounds like a good idea.
Exactly. It is very good discipline. It is very good discipline. Unfortunately, online, it's very difficult to have people wax your actual car, so therefore I have them do, at one time it was 1,500 exercises.
I loved the resemblance to that movie.
Thank you, Anas. Thank you. I know, I always find it funny when, let's get back to the tournament. Maybe we'll get one more game in before we have to go. Oh my God, it's time for me to go. This is terrible, everybody. I'm so sorry. We have our usual plugs. I am FIDE Trainer. I usually do this when someone follows that is new. FIDE Trainer, National Master John MacArthur. I've been at this for quite some time. Don't worry, we're here every time at this morning, usually, except for Wednesday mornings. Wednesday mornings after Tuesday night billiards, I usually do not make it to stream. I think I took it off my schedule officially. Oh my God, I finished in third with only one game. You are awesome. Must have been right behind me. Happy for Viking. I'm happy he won a game. He beat Harish Kumaran. He beat Mr. Kumaran. Nicely done, everybody. Max, great work. Congrats. typing at an angle. I actually thought about putting another keyboard in and another keyboard in because you're allowed with Bluetooth to do many, many things. And Viking. Let's see if I can message Viking because he was also interested in help. And he messaged me on chess.com, I remember a long time ago, and I've never gotten back to. I mean, I think I reply or accepted his friend request on chess.com, but I am hardly ever on chess.com. The interface, even for watching the US Championship, even for going over the games, it is just so last century, in my opinion. It is like a product of the 1900s, if there ever was one. I don't know what they're... Obviously, I love the fact that chess.com spends their money on... I was just reading that someone put up that one. I also like the book 1000 Best of the Best. But yeah, ChessBase spends their money on professional events.
Check out the best of the best. Chess Informant
Which is
Prize
great.
winners and candidate games chosen by a
Alexa,
jury
turn on
of titled
Dojo.
players from 1966 onward.
Alexa, turn on Dojo. I need a filter because when the lights go out behind me, I turn white as a ghost, which is not good. Needless to say, yes, within 1 hour or so,
The
we
best
will...
of the best is your book?
No, the best of the best is a book that I recommend for advanced students, not necessarily for you. The Informant, Chess Informant publications used to come out. In fact, I have the latest one to my left, but you can actually see them at the bottom. They're all the Chess Informant products that are there. I don't know if there was a special going on. You can click on that link and find out more about Chess Informant. When I was probably around 1800 or so, I discovered the power of Chess Informant. Prior to that, I did all the traditional training, but these are the best 10 games of every Chess Informant, which used to be published twice a year from 1966 through about 1980 something. Came out twice a year, and it had about 800 and 900 games in each volume from the previous 6 months of the best games played by Kasparov and everything. And it was every grandmaster's duty to write for Chess Informant, and they would pay them. At first, they would just give you a free subscription until they found out that you were very serious about writing, for the most part. I haven't actually done anything for Chess Informant lately, unfortunately, other than plug their material. But on average, Chess Informant has been around as developing grandmasters. Petrosian referred to the children of the Chess Informant. Today, it's the children of the internet.
Can I buy it? I'm not advice player, and can they deliver on KSA?
I don't know, but you can certainly find out. There are other books, though, that I might recommend. There are no words in this book. That is the problem. But it is amazing. If it inspires you, obviously I'm not going to tell anyone not to study something, but if it inspires you, you should definitely. And I think this will be honestly, I have 2 copies of this book. There's this book that's extremely beaten up, and then I have a brand new copy over there because I figure this one's going to fall apart at some point. So I bought it when it was on sale. But there are a number of products. And don't buy anything on Chessable just yet. I hope you didn't, because I usually use that particular account. I will recommend
No
books for you.
words. Said. Wait, a book that has no words sounds like my type of book.
No Words should have a chess.com sponsorship. So there are 8 languages in this book. And everything is using symbols for the most part. And obviously, if you go to the Chess Informant symbol system, basically, it's you already know the symbols at the bottom of Lichess. You can already tell, for the most part, that the
No words.
assessments
Said. I will never sell my soul to Chesscom.
and Urdu slash Persian slash whatever. Right, because they own Chessable. Unfortunately, I still dearly love Chessable because I like John Bartholomew. I've known him since he was a very small kid, just like Fabiano and everyone else. But needless to say, I need to send everyone, if there is everyone. Who do you recommend? No words. John Curtis. Is there anyone new? There was TwitchCon this weekend, which I find very, very amusing. Metal Monday.
No words. Said. Send us to Align Lee.
Oh, thank you so much. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you, no words. I'm like trying to find one and or. I'm going to have to rush out the door, unfortunately, to catch the 6:10 train. But thanks, everyone, for being here. We'll be back in an hour and 15 minutes, it looks like, with the morning rush. It is is it Diwali? I believe. Not entirely convinced. Meant to change my wallpaper for the occasion, but I did not. Thank you for being here. Cheers and ciao. I don't see the raid having started. Do I see the raid started? Should I roll the ending credits? No words.
No words. Said. Oh, sack.
Thank you. Yeah, no, unfortunately, he's not in a rush to get me out. But yeah, all the Chess Informant books, with the exception of the instructional manuals, such as Old Wine in New Bottles. I absolutely love that one. Old Wine in New Bottles is priceless.
No words. Said.
Yes.
Okay, credit time.
Thank you, no words. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, I usually don't raid with one. We had 3 up until a moment ago. It's very sad that we only have 1 now, but we will complete the raid. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Cheers and ciao. We have 7 in other platforms, but I'm very thankful for everyone and all of you. No words. Namaste.